Welcome back to the campfire, strangers. This is the fourth night we've met up, and I have a story with action and adventure to capture your attention. A man who perfectly captured the sentiment of the wild country. A desperado with a golden heart, but cold as night. A vigilante against the L&N Railroad, and a savior to the poor. The mysterious Railroad Bill. This is a man who requires a big introduction, so allow me to get right into it. Despite his outlaw name being Bill, the man's name was Morris Slater, a circus man who left his theatrics to work in the turpentine business. He was a vibrant character, full of personality and single-mindedness. The law was not important to him. Instead, he focused on his internal ethics. This would get him into all sorts of trouble with the police, especially after getting in a tussle with an L&N brakeman, leaving them both injured and making him have to leave his career and become a wandering vagrant. Now, wandering workers were not looked upon well, and additionally, Morris was a freedman, being frequented by prejudice from many people and unable to secure a steady job. His life would change forever after a routine stop with the cops discovered that, although he was carrying a repeating rifle, he had no permit, causing him to get into a fight with the cops. He shot one straight through and jumped on a railroad car, beginning his life on the run. Strangely, the L&N Railroad line began to notice occurrences where the price of food had lowered dramatically, as stolen items were going on the market for impossibly cheap prices. Additionally, many poor families were waking up with canned goods at their door, courtesy of Railroad Bill, a name the newspapers had given Morris after they couldn't confirm his identity. No matter how many detectives were sent after the man, or how many police chased him, Bill always seemed to escape last minute, beginning the rumors that he was a powerful voodoo man and had the conjuring power to disguise himself as animals or whisk himself away with the wind. Some escapes were more dramatic than others, like when he was pinned in a barn and surrounded by a posse, managing to take a stand and escaping, injuring a few and killing a deputy, while remaining unscathed himself. It came to the attention of the law that Bill was unkillable, though he didn't necessarily want to be a killer himself, having pulled off a stunt that's baffling to this day. In order to explain, allow me to get a little gun nerd on you, albeit poorly. Morris's favorite gun was a Smith & Wesson 3844 double-action in-frame revolver. This is a very unusual development in the 1800s, as this was before the advent of the .357. A normal .38 revolver, what police were known to carry, was a lightweight and reliable round, capable of producing a linear displacement of about 240 pounds at a 1-foot distance, which is more than enough to absolutely ruin your day. A .44 round, however, displaces about 120 pounds more, which makes a surprisingly formidable weapon, especially at the time. However, the .44 revolver weighed over 2 pounds, which made it very unruly and uncomfortable to carry. So Smith & Wesson developed the .3844, which was a pistol with a modified frame to be lightweight, capable of handling the hotter ammunition, making a fantastic middle ground revolver that holds up fantastically today. Bill, one night, was being chased by a foreman from the L&N line. Not wanting to kill the man, but not wanting to risk being found, he steadied his hand and managed to shoot the lantern out of the brakeman's hand 2 cars away from him, which is around 60 to 70 feet, which is a phenomenal testimony to his accuracy and skill with a firearm. That's more unreal than some shots in movies. He continued for years, stealing from the railroad and giving to the poor, selling supplies and guns to stores and locals, and gathering a following for himself. Some say he still rides the rails to this day, guiding vagrants and vigilantes alike, causing misfortune to befall those who use the rails to benefit their corrupt ways, though he does this in spirit, as his earthly vessel is buried in Pensacola, Florida. But for some legends, death just isn't the end. But that's plenty enough about outlaws and desperados for one night. I'm going to get some sleep. As you drift off, try to see if you can hear the lonesome whistle of the trains, and know that on one of them, maybe, Bill stands ever vigilant, looking out for the unfortunate.